The woven seat beneath me keeps the same firm pattern against the backs of my legs. Warm glass holds the daylight in place, and the air stays mild across my hands. A loose thread near the cushion seam touches my thumb when I let it rest there. The fabric at my wrist keeps a soft fold, and I smooth it once without thinking. The quiet in here feels settled, with only the small sounds that belong to stillness. The arm of the chair stays warm where the light has rested on it. My sleeve brushes the side of the cushion, and the contact is light and even. The space beside me remains occupied, close enough to change the feel of the room. I keep my palm flat on the seat, feeling the grain beneath the cloth covering. A faint shift in nearby fabric reaches me, then leaves the quiet as it was. The woven rug under my shoes keeps a rough edge where the fibers lift slightly. The light on the floor stays pale and steady, without moving enough to matter. I rest my fingers together, feeling the soft drag of skin against skin. The cushion holds my weight without giving further, and the pressure remains familiar. A sleeve moves somewhere close, and the sound is low enough to stay gentle. I do not turn because the nearness is already clear without looking toward it. The side of my hand meets a warmer patch of fabric where the sun has stayed. The air holds a soft warmth that settles most clearly along my forearms. The chair beside mine stays close, separated by only a narrow strip of open space. I feel the edge of the seam again, slightly raised under the pad of my thumb. The stillness here has shape, made mostly from cloth, wood, light, and held distance. A slight movement nearby changes nothing, except the way I notice my own posture. My shoulder remains easy, though I keep aware of how little room lies between us. The wicker beneath the cushion gives a faint texture through the layered cloth. The back of my knee stays against the seat, held by the same mild pressure. A quiet rustle reaches me from nearby linen, then settles completely. The sunlight on the glass feels warmer than the shade that stays near the floor. I keep one fingertip tracing the same short line along the chair arm. The smooth wood under my hand carries a little stored heat from the afternoon light. The open space between our seats stays undisturbed, though it never feels entirely empty. My cuff touches my wrist bone, and I adjust it only enough to stop noticing. The softness beside me is not mine, yet I feel it in the room. The seat cushion keeps a small depression under my palm where I have left it. A nearby shift of weight sounds through fabric more than through the chair itself. The warmth in here rests lightly on my neck and the tops of my hands. I notice the texture of my own breathing only where it touches my upper lip. The room keeps its calm shape, framed by windows and fabric and close presence. The edge of the armrest presses faintly into my forearm, steady and unchanging. A small wrinkle in the cushion cover catches under my fingertip and stays there. The nearness beside me feels measured, not accidental, and not spoken into anything more. I let my hand remain still, because even that feels like enough movement here. The light across the woven floor leaves the same pale squares between the chair legs. A sleeve brushes again, close enough that I feel the sound before I place it. The fabric at my collar sits lightly against my throat, warm from the room. My knee remains angled toward the center, though not enough to close the gap. The chair frame under my arm feels solid, with a smooth finish worn by use. A gentle pull in the cushion filling shifts under my weight, then holds. The space beside me stays warm in a way the rest of the room does not. I notice how the cloth over my thigh keeps its fold without slipping flatter. The air here does not move much, except where bodies keep their own mild heat. A small sound from nearby cotton reaches me, soft enough to feel private. The seam beneath my thumb has a slight ridge, and I keep finding it again. The distance between our elbows remains exact, close enough to matter, far enough to stay clear. My hand rests open on the armrest, feeling the smooth finish under each finger. The wicker texture under the cushion shows through in places where the padding thins. The warmth on my cheek stays even, coming from glass that has held the day. A quiet adjustment near me changes the pressure of attention more than the room itself. I keep my shoulders easy, though I remain aware of how shared the silence is. The cloth at my knee feels cooler where the light does not reach. The seat under me keeps the same firm support, with no shift in balance. A nearby fold of fabric moves once, then settles into the quiet again. The narrow table between the chairs stays untouched, its surface warm where light rests. I feel the line of the chair arm under my wrist, straight and lightly rounded.